Hi, hello my dear students. Welcome to my video lecture class. Right up to now I uploaded video lectures on the topic fluid dynamics. Today I am going to start a new concept in this topic fluid dynamics, that is critical velocity. Critical velocity. So what is the definition of critical velocity? The velocity beyond at which streamline flow is converted into turbulent flow is called critical velocity. Okay, the velocity beyond at which, so that means whenever this velocity crosses, at that situation streamline flow is converted into turbulent flow. So here critical velocity is represented with Vc. Vc is equal to R eta by d rho. Here R means Reynolds number. What is the definition of Reynolds number? I will discuss. Eta means coefficient of dynamic viscosity. D means diameter. Rho means density of fluid. Okay. So R means Reynolds number, eta means coefficient of dynamic viscosity, D means diameter, rho means density of fluid. Next, we'll discuss one by one here. Reynolds number. So that is indicated with R. Reynolds number R is equal to viscous force by inertial force by viscous force. So Reynolds number is ratio between inertial force to viscous force is called Reynolds number. So it has no units and no dimensional formula. Reynolds number between 0 to 1000. Reynolds number is between 0 to 1000. The flow is laminar flow. The flow is laminar flow. Reynolds number is greater than 2000. The flow is turbulent flow. Reynolds number R value between 1000 and 2000, between 1000 and 2000, then the flow is laminar and turbulent flow. Reynolds number between 1000 and 2000, then the flow is laminar and turbulent flow. So this is about Reynolds number concept. So based upon Reynolds number value, we can decide whether the flow is laminar flow or turbulent flow. Next, coefficient of dynamic viscosity. Coefficient of dynamic viscosity. So this is indicated with eta. Coefficient of dynamic viscosity. The ratio between coefficient of dynamic viscosity, the ratio between tangential stress to velocity gradient. Velocity gradient. The ratio between tangential stress to velocity gradient is called coefficient of dynamic viscosity. Coefficient of dynamic viscosity. MKS or SI unit. SI unit is Poiseuille or Pascal second. Poiseuille or Pascal second. CGS unit is Poise. 1 Pascal second is equal to 10 Poise. 1 Pascal second is equal to 10 Poise. 10 Poise. Here velocity gradient is equal to dV by dx. Velocity gradient is nothing but dV by dx. Tangential stress means tangential force by area. Tangential force by area. So this is about coefficient of dynamic viscosity and its units. Next concept is types of energy flow. Types of energy flow. First one, kinetic energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy per unit volume is equal to kinetic energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy means half mv square by volume. Here velocity is indicated with like this. Observe carefully. Don't be confused. velocity is indicated with like this, volume is indicated with V like this. Okay, so half mv square by E. We know that density is equal to mass by volume. Then mass is equal to density into volume. That means mass m, density into volume. So finally what we got here, density into volume, half into mass means density into volume into V square by V, volume going to be cancelled, half rho V square, half rho V square. So kinetic energy by volume, kinetic energy per unit volume is equal to half rho V square, half rho V square. Next, half rho V square. Second one, potential energy per unit volume. Potential energy means mgh by volume. M means density into volume into G into H by volume V. Here V going to be cancelled. Finally we got rho GH. Rho GH. Next, third one. Pressure energy by volume. Pressure energy means pressure P into V by V. V cancel P. So these are the three types of energy flow: kinetic energy per unit volume, potential energy per unit volume, pressure energy per unit volume. So these three we must know before going to discuss Bernoulli's theorem. So now I am going to discuss Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem. What is meant by Bernoulli's theorem? The algebraic sum of pressure energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, the algebraic sum of pressure energy, kinetic energy and potential energy of a streamlined fluid at any point throughout motion, per unit mass or unit volume, or unit into weight is constant. So what is the meaning for this one? Algebraic sum of kinetic energy by volume, kinetic potential energy by volume, pressure energy by volume, pressure energy by volume is equal to constant. Is equal to constant. Kinetic energy by volume means already you know. Few minutes back we calculated. Half rho v square. Potential energy per volume means rho gh. Pressure energy per volume is P is equal to constant. Is equal to constant. Is equal to constant. Okay, so this is velocity head. This is also called as velocity head. This is called as gravitational head. Gravitational head. This is pressure head. Sometimes this Bernoulli's theorem is also defined as the algebraic sum of velocity head, gravitational head and pressure head must be constant. That is another form of definition for Bernoulli's theorem. So this is half rho v square plus rho gh plus p is equal to constant. Okay, next. Right. So let us consider one small diagram. Okay, let us consider a small diagram here I draw. Okay, so here is a ground for this one. Height is h1. For this one, height is h2. Okay, and density is here ρ1, density is ρ2, velocity is v1. Here in this end, air velocity is v2. Okay. Okay. Now, pressure is p1 and pressure is p2. Okay. So for this one, how to apply Bernoulli's theorem? Here in this fluid is flows like this. Fluid is flows like this. Velocity of fluid is flows like this. So apply according to Bernoulli's theorem. According to Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem. According to Bernoulli's theorem, half ρ1 v1 square plus, so first generally half rho v square plus p plus rho gh is equal to constant. And here how to apply? Half rho v square means ρ1 v1 square plus p1 ρ1 g into h1 is equal to half ρ2 v2 square plus p2 plus rho into g into h2. Here density of fluid is same. If you consider density of fluid is same here, if I consider density of fluid is same, then rho here density of fluid is also same, and density of fluid is same. So rho g into h here h2, rho g into h2. This is by applying Bernoulli's theorem. We are applying Bernoulli's theorem like this. Applying Bernoulli's theorem is like this. Half rho into v1 square, here half rho into v2 square. Here density of the fluid. Rho means the density of fluid. Density of fluid is constant here. That means ρ1 is equal to ρ2. ρ1 is equal to ρ2. Next. Here, if fluid flow is passing through horizontal pipe passing through horizontal pipe, that means H1 is equal to H2. H1 is equal to H2. So at this situation, then it changes to half rho 1 V1 square, half rho 1 V1 square plus P1 is equal to half rho into V2 square plus P2 we got. So that means from this P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho into V2 square minus V1 square. This is valid. This is valid if fluid flow is horizontal. Fluid flow is horizontal. That means H1 is equal to H2. If fluid flow is horizontal, that means H1 is equal to H2. At that time, this formula is valid. So Bernoulli's theorem is very, very important. If you consider Bernoulli's theorem, pressure head plus gravitational head plus velocity head is equal to constant. So this is about Bernoulli's theorem. Next we are going to discuss applications of Bernoulli's theorem. Applications of Bernoulli's theorem. Applications of Bernoulli's theorem. Applications of Bernoulli's theorem. So applications of Bernoulli's theorem. First one, dynamic lift. Dynamic lift. The upward lift experienced by a body, the upward lift experienced by a body, and motion in a fluid is called dynamic lift. The upward lift experienced by a body and motion in air is called aerodynamic lift. Aerodynamic lift. Here best example is aeroplane. Here best example is aeroplane. How here we are taking aeroplane based upon Bernoulli's theorem. Now I am going to discuss. So let us consider wings of aeroplane. So this is a wing of aeroplane. So this is a wing of aeroplane. So this is a wing of So this is a wing of aeroplane. Okay, this is a wing of aeroplane. Wing of aeroplane. A wing of aeroplane. So here lower surface of wing, upper surface of wing, upper surface of wing, upper surface of wing, lower surface of wing, lower surface of wing, lower surface of wing. Here major factors are, first one is pressure. Pressure at the lower surface is greater than pressure at higher surface. Pressure at higher surface. Next one is velocity. Second one is velocity. Lower surface of wing. Next velocity is velocity at lower surface is less than velocity at higher surface. Velocity at higher surface. Next third one, shape. This is very important. Shape. At upper surface is more curved. At lower surface is less curved or flat. Okay, or flat. Due to this pressure difference, due to these factors, pressure difference, velocity difference, shape difference, shape difference of upper and lower surface of wing, upper and lower surface of wing. Due to these factors, pressure difference, velocity difference, shape difference of upper and lower surface of wing, lower surface of wing is responsible for lifting of aeroplane. So lifting of aeroplane. This is the best example for Bernoulli's theorem. Next, second application in Bernoulli's theorem. Second application in Bernoulli's theorem. Second application. 2. Spinning ball. The direction of motion of spinning ball is changes due to an effect. The effect is called Magnus effect. That effect is called Magnus effect. Due to effect is called Magnus effect. So while we are spinning a ball, direction of spin ball is changes due to some effect. That effect is called Magnus effect. Here also, if I consider spin ball, so if I consider spin ball here, so here also, here pressure is low, and velocity is high. At top part pressure is high, and velocity is low. Pressure is low, velocity is high. Here bottom part, pressure is high, velocity is low. Velocity is low. Velocity is low for the bottom part. So this is responsible for pressure and velocity difference. The spinning of ball will be takes place due to a Magnus effect. This is also one of the application for Bernoulli's theorem. Next, Venturi meter. Next one is Venturi meter. Third application is Venturi meter. Third application, Venturi meter. Venturi meter. The instrument which is used to measure volume of fluid per second, or that means rate of fluid flow. The instrument which is used to measure volume of fluid per second or rate of fluid flow is called Venturi meter. So Venturi meter is designed as so we are going to be designed like this. This Venturi meter is designed as like this. So this is going to be designed like this. So here is some pressure. This is pressure P1. Here is a pressure P2. Okay. Here area is A1. Here area is A2. Here velocity is V1. Here velocity is V2. Okay. And here height is H1, and here height is H2. Okay, here height is H2. So that means so this is a total fluid flow. This fluid is flows like this. Flows like this. So what is the formula for here Venturi meter? So Venturi meter is also working on the based upon Bernoulli's theorem. Here Q, that means volume by time, rate of fluid flow, rate of fluid flow, volume by time is equal to formula A1 into A2 square root of 2 into P1 minus P2 by A1 square minus A2 square into rho. A1 square minus A2 square into rho. So here rho means density of liquid or density of fluid. Okay. So A1 into A2. So this is also written as A1 into A2 square root of 2 into P1 means rho g H1. P2 means rho g H2. That means if you common rho g H1 minus H2. Here A1 square minus A2 square into rho. So here H1 minus H2. So let us consider H is equal to H1 minus H2. Let H is equal to H1 minus H2. Then this formula is changes to like this: 2 into rho into G into H by H by A1 square minus A2 square into rho. So this is a formula, rate of fluid flow. Rate of fluid flow means volume by time. This is a third application of Bernoulli's theorem. This Venturi meter is majorly it is used to measure rate of fluid flow. Measure rate of fluid flow. Next, fourth application, that is fourth application. So many applications for Bernoulli's theorem. So up to now we discussed three applications. One is aeroplane, second one is spinning a ball, third one is Venturi meter. Now fourth one is paint gun, atomizer, paint gun, atomizer, or a filter pump. So these are all our works on based upon these are all our filter pump or working based upon Bernoulli's theorem. Based upon Bernoulli's theorem. Okay. Next, fifth one, siphon tube, which is used to empty the fluid tank or container. Siphon tube also working on Bernoulli's theorem only. So these are all applications of Bernoulli's theorem, and this is about Bernoulli's theorem. I hope you are all understood this lecture, and while watching this lecture, if you will get any doubt regarding this lecture, feel free to mention in comment box. Thank you for watching my lectures. Thank you for encouraging me. Thank you so much.